Elon Musk not backing off of his stance, despite the backlash that he is facing from the MAGA right. Instead, he's writing tonight, anyone of any race, creed, or nationality who came to America and worked like hell to contribute to this country will forever have my respect. Noticeably silent in all this infighting in his party, the president-elect himself.
The MAGA bros are shocked that the tech bros don't like them, as it turns out. Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk are saying the quiet part out loud and bashing American intelligence, the American culture, because as they say, we absolutely need H1B visa program, which allows people from outside the country to come work in tech. Never mind, they still don't want people from outside the country to come work in the agricultural industry. No, that's still bad. But according to them, the H1B visa is essential because, yes, they benefited from the H1B visa. Let's get into the post, the infighting, what it reveals, and that, yes, us Democrats knew that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy didn't care about the American people all along. My name is Dina Doll with the MeidasTouch Network. Let's break this down. The MAGA infighting started with this whole discussion around whether or not the H1B program is right or not. MAGAs think that it should be America first, American workers, and all programs, and Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk say, no, we need outside workers in tech. And Elon Musk silenced Lauren Loomer. We know that she's the big Trump supporter, and others in this MAGA ring. So essentially, Elon Musk doing the things that Democrats were trying to call out and highlight to everyone before the election, because he was changing the algorithm, pushing out his content, other MAGA content. And MAGA was fine with that when it was content that they agreed with. Now they are up in arms with him suppressing speech that he doesn't like. Again, this is one of those, this is what you get moments, because we were ringing the alarm that Elon Musk was not a proponent of free speech. And here he has this whole X platform now at his disposal to silence speech. So we have this infighting around Elon Musk trying to silence speech. And then just frankly, his tweets, his posts on X, which are just riling up the MAGA base, creating this infighting even more. Just recently, he said, quote, "The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H1B. So essentially, he's saying it's not Americans here, right, that made America strong, but it's people that came from outside the country from this H1B program that made Americans strong. Like, this is exactly the opposite of this MAGA philosophy. Sounds a little bit more like Democrats who are open to the idea that immigrants actually build and help America. But no, for him, it's only certain type of immigrants. It's his type, the one that he is. And he says that in this next thing. He says, take a big step back and F yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. Of course, he cares about this because this is personal. And he only cares about the type of immigrant that he was. Steve Bannon, big MAGA, obviously, we know a big architect of the whole Trumpism, comes out and says, quote, "Someone please notify Child Protective Services. Need to do a wellness check on this toddler." So the infighting between Elon Musk and Steve Bannon, we are just seeing MAGA erupting around this issue. And the fact is that Democrats, MAGA is seeing some, hate, right, from Americans, because this is not his only post. One of his other posts, he shows like an IQ test and says, if you can pass this IQ test, then I will hire you. With the clear implication is that American workers won't pass this IQ test, right? Because he keeps saying that he has to go outside the country in order to do it. And this is like something you're saying to MAGA, who's like, all about America. Well, the fact is Democrats already knew that Elon Musk didn't care about Americans, because when you try to buy and maybe even bought our election and our votes, you don't care about Americans. When he tried to do his lottery if you remember, the lottery right before the election, where he said, if you sign this petition, you can qualify for $1 million. Never mind, he kind of lied about the whole thing. It wasn't actually a lottery. It was specifically somebody had to be willing to be a spokesperson for the issue. But in addition, it is illegal to buy a vote. And here you had to be registered to vote, and you cannot pay somebody to register to vote. So him trying to illegally sway the election to Trump. Well, if you are willing to illegally sway the election and try to harm and take away and buy, frankly, the most basic democratic process in our country, then you don't care about Americans. You don't care about America, and you don't care about democracy. When you try to stop the spending bill that the Republicans and Democrats had put together in order to not have the government shut down, in order to not have TSA agents have to work without getting paid during the holidays, and your response is, I don't care. You don't care about Americans. You don't care about America. So Democrats always knew this about Elon Musk. He's out for himself. He's an oligarch who doesn't care about our country. But MAGA is just waking up to this, that he is all about himself. And watching the infighting erupt gives me such pleasure, not just because it's enjoyable when you have somebody who's so willing to buy an election kind of get called out, but also because the infighting can slow down the harmful things that they want to do. Because we know Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy want to cut things like Social Security and Medicare. They're not touching the military budget, even though supposedly Trump is a peace president. So that's ironic. They're wanting to go after things that people have paid into over the years. Social Security is not an entitlement program. We have paid into it. And he wants to take away the money that Americans have already paid into. I can think of no more un-American thing. I can think of no other way to disrespect Americans. So Elon Musk has told us all along who he is, but MAGA is just waking up to it. But the infighting will slow it all down. That is like the only thing that we have going for us. He wants to gut the Department of Education. Well, if this infighting continues, that may hurt. So not only is it pleasurable to see it, but it could actually create a delay. Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk always showed us who they were. They were willing to lie to the American people because they thought the American people were just too dumb. And now they're just saying that quiet part out loud. Vivek Ramaswamy in his X tweet said that the reason why tech companies don't hire people born here but hire foreigners isn't because of the IQ, although he says it as if it's possible it's because of the IQ, but because of the culture. And then he goes in and basically bashes American culture. He says the reason why we aren't smart enough to get those jobs is because we have American prom queens, that we like Saturday morning cartoons, and we like hanging out at the mall. I don't know how many other Gen Xers are out there, but hanging out at the mall on Saturdays, that is as American as apple pie was growing up, and I don't think that really hurt my IQ. Of course, Vivek Ramaswamy wants to blame American culture rather than education for a reason why American workers may not be properly prepared for the tech jobs that are developing in real time. Because him and Elon Musk plan on defunding the Department of Education in order to fulfill the promise of Project 2025. So he's jumping through hoops, now saying that America basically just doesn't produce good enough workers for an entire industry. Well, of course, he got a lot of backlash from that, and he reposted a tweet that would kind of help him pivot. And in typical MAGA fashion, who does he now blame but diversity in America? This quote that he retweeted was from Bill Mitchell saying, "I have no idea why people are offended by Vivek's comments about American culture promoting mediocrity. He is 100% correct. Isn't that why we hate DEI?" So suddenly, DEI is the reason that parents are so lenient that they allow their kids to have chill time, as he says, which is so horrible. And evidently, DEI is the reason why we have a homecoming king and queen and a prom queen, and DEI is the reason we hang out in malls. Yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy tried to do a hard pivot and wanted to blame the same group that they always like to blame. And this time, it's pretty laughable.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.